This thing was bumping pretty good in my ear. A little bass there. That was good. I like that.
Yeah, it's nice. That's why I like coming into a different song every week. It just kind of gets the flow going a little bit
Yeah,
better. Things
definitely.
move a little easier sometimes, right? Like you come in here and you do them a lot, or you go through your normal work week or your
Right.
work day, and you get in here and maybe your headspace isn't right. But then once that music hits, and you try to get something that's like
Upbeat.
upbeat or a section of a song that kind of is going to tell a story later. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? But
definitely. No,
so
it's good. Uh,
it's
feel
enjoyable.
I feel like we did this recently.
Oh man,
Oh man, what?
nothing. It's good. It's good.
Okay.
We're good.
Um, yeah, I feel like we just did this, but we got to pump a few more out.
Yeah, I just have to alter the audio quick. Oh, we're good.
All right, cool.
I had us plugged in, and then it gets that popping
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So that should be fixed now.
The Yeah, not much has transpired in the last few days, other than we both worked a bunch more hours. We didn't want to work.
Me twice.
You twice. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Other than that,
So when this comes out, like obviously we've talked about this for a while.
right.
I'm going to be going to England, and I'm going to be in Ireland, and I'm
Yep.
going to be doing these things. So we're taping a bunch of them. So when this one actually comes out, I'll be on a plane headed to England
Yes.
as it drops.
Yes.
Yeah. So I may listen to it on the plane ride.
There
That
you
might be
go.
my first.
Your first official listen.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's I'm probably like 5 days away from leaving.
Yep.
Everybody's like, "You excited?" Not yet. Uh, Tomorrow I'm going to do the whole laundry and pack thing,
Right.
and I think when I do that, then I'll be.
It's weird because you know what? Coming back off of Memphis and being so excited about that, dude, I'm amped to go to the beach, but I don't know. It's not the same anticipation. Like
Right. Right.
I think it's because it was something that was so monumental for me. But listen, don't get me wrong. I'm going to enjoy every day with my wife at the beach. Looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. You're going to have a blast. We'll try to get on Facebook Live at least if we can
Yeah.
make it work.
Well, think of it in this way for like what you just did. You're a lifelong Yankee fan, but you live in I don't know, just pick a random. You live in Tennessee, who has no professional baseball teams,
Right.
and then you get to go to Yankee Stadium.
Right.
You go from sitting there watching a Nashville Sounds to you get to walk into Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
And then now we're gonna go to
Back to a Sounds game.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what it is. And you're just like, I
Yeah.
just went to like my dream location now.
Yeah. No, it's cool though. Like I said, I think I'm with you. Once I get to that mode where we're starting to really put stuff away and get packed, and it's going to be weird because Carly's got to leave for a business trip on Friday, I think. Gets back on Wednesday. I'm picking her up at LaGuardia, and we're going right from LaGuardia to Atlantic City.
Oh well, you're close. Good.
Well, it's fucking crazy
Because it is, but it's
I
not.
got to backtrack. It's still 3 hours.
Oh, that
Yeah,
sucks.
I got to go back over to GW and down. Or, luckily, I know the city a little bit. Maybe I'll just continue around the Belt Parkway and go over in through Staten Island and see which one's quicker. But yeah, no.
Or put up Google Maps on your phone or Waze and see what it gets.
Yeah, see what it gets me. But yeah, no. So it's funny because she's gonna have to pack a suitcase way in advance, and then because I'll grab that bag when we go, and then from the airport she's gonna have a suitcase full of dirty laundry that they bring it with us.
So it's funny you just mentioned dirty laundry. I think before I come home, I'm going to do all my laundry. I just come home and put it away.
I started doing that when we went to Cape Cod for the first time.
Yep.
Going home and clean laundry because it was one thing you didn't have to fuck with.
Right. It was so much easier.
Yes.
You wash it, you fold it, you put it in your bag, and when you come home, right in a drawer it goes and you're done.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. So really the only thing that'll be dirty on me is what I travel in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree with you. That's way easier. Way easier.
Right. Instead of coming home and having to do shit tons of laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
So I wonder if you're going to drive through any neighborhoods where it's going to be
roll them up. I'm sure.
Yeah, Atlantic City, half of that is straight roll them up neighborhood.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's some spots
everywhere.
So I don't know if we talked about it on the last episode or not. I booked a lunch at Conor McGregor's.
Yeah, I don't know if we said on the show, and I think you told me off air.
Yeah. So when we land in Ireland, we're obviously landing in Dublin.
Right.
So I booked lunch at Conor McGregor's Black Forge Inn.
Sweet.
Yeah, so his bar.
That's cool.
So that'll be cool. I want to stop by his gym if they have T-shirts or something. Get a T-shirt, just something. I'm sure there'll be like $50 for a fucking T-shirt,
no doubt.
but whatever.
Oh, what's the current? How do you do currency exchange?
I don't know. I think on a credit card, they figure it out.
Okay.
Because touristy, you're going to want the American money.
Right.
The problem I'm running into though,
you told me, is they don't
American
take
Express. So I'm like, do I take a cash advance and put it in my bank, and then use my MasterCard? But you know what I mean. Then if something I don't know.
You may. I don't know. Wow. Yeah. And the other fucked up thing too is you're traveling abroad.
Right.
So you might make a payment or buy a couple of things, and all of a sudden your card fucking locks because, oh shit, why are there purchases?
Well, no, I'm going to go to the bank and call my credit card company and tell them that I'm traveling.
Okay. Yeah, I had that happen one time, and what a fucking nightmare. Your asshole slammed shut on that. You're like,
what do I do here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm here. Can you just unblock my fucking card, please?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because it seems like a fraud. So well, that's what happened when I went to book it. When I went to book the bar.
Oh shit.
The reservation.
Yeah.
I get a fraud alert from my bank, and I'm like, no, I really did try to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Good way to start the trip off for sure.
Yeah, and Ireland is the really exciting part for me.
Right.
Because it's going to be celebrate my mom's birthday, well, my birthday and her birthday,
yep.
and Summer's birthday because it just happened.
Yep.
There, which is cool because that's on her bucket list. So to do a 2-for-1 kind of thing.
Yeah, that's cool. Definitely.
It should be fun. Anything else going on, really?
Nothing much right now. I've got that coming up, and then the last Wednesday of July. I think it's the day you're getting back, right? You come back?
The very end, the last week of July. Yeah, the last week of July.
Yeah, Carly gotten tickets for AEW for me and the boys.
Nice.
So that's Max's birthday week. So
is that at MVP Arena or whatever? Albany,
yeah, whatever.
I think it's MVP Arena now, right?
Yep. So Max's birthday's that weekend. So we'll have a blast. We'll have a good time.
Yeah.
I haven't been with shit. I don't think.
I thought his birthday was in September.
Don't be a dick. It is July 30th.
It's Neville Longbottom Day.
It is.
Dude, people misspeak, though.
I do.
It happens.
It
happens. You know why? Because we were interchanging 9/11, and we were talking about them being interchanged.
But, no, it's cool because that week we'll try to do a little something first. Well, they both have to work. I made sure I got the day off. So we'll leave, and then the next day I have off, too. So hopefully I can.
Yeah, I'd rather have the next day. You know what I mean?
If he doesn't have to work that day, I'll grab him, take him out for lunch that day. Because the weekend, I'm sure he's doing stuff with his girlfriend, which I would be too.
And then you get a little bit of freedom after that.
After
he turns 21.
No, they're forever. I know what you're saying financially, but listen. They need something. I'm still there for them.
No. I meant, but there's other parts that frees you up.
You'll
have a little bit of coin back in your pocket.
A little bit. I told them I'm still going to pay a cell phone bill. I pay everybody else's cell phone. I might as well pay his too.
No, I get it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But there should be a little coin back in your pocket.
I'm gonna be smart though. It's time to do a little deferred comp.
Yeah. That's
put some
late.
Money away for retirement. Yeah. So we'll see. This should be a fun month.
Do you think they send Domingo Herman down now?
Oh my God.
So I had a conversation with Farrar in the hallway,
and
I was like, "Yo, dude, this is the thing about this guy. For an inning and a half, or 3 innings, or 5, he can look like the most electric, lights out guy.
Well,
and then in the 6th inning, he has 6 walks and 5 home runs.
Right.
And you're like,
he does it. Well, it was weird because when Zach Wheeler was a Met, he was like 12-12 every year. He would go 3 great starts, 3 shit starts, 3 great. He leaves the Mets, he's fucking Cy Young Award winner runner-up.
Right.
And winning 20 games every year now. I think if the Yanks let Herman go, that's what would happen because the kid has everything. It's just put it all together. Yeah,
and we've talked about this before. It's hard to play in New York.
It is hard to play in New York. Very
so
hard.
To really play in New York that can be a thing because we've had some great pitchers
come
in. Javier Vazquez came in a few times.
It
Dude,
sucked.
dude was Cy Young guy,
Yep.
20-game winner in Arizona and whatever else, and could not
Trash.
make it. Did Greinke ever play New York
No.
Mets or Yankees?
Nope.
Good thing, because he's
Yeah.
nuts.
Oh, he's totally psycho.
Randy Johnson, another one,
Yeah, he was
sucked in New York.
Well, he was average. He was average at best in New York. He wasn't great. No.
Right.
Clemens, did he win a Cy in New York?
No, I thought he won it. I thought he won it with the Blue Jays.
He won
is the
two.
only
He
time.
won two with Toronto. He had five. I don't know if he had one with the Yankees or not. I don't think so. I think he had 3 in Boston, 2 with Toronto.
Yeah, which would make sense. Like '86, he probably had one because he was untouchable
Yes.
that year.
Yeah, him and Gooden. That was the
Yeah.
year they were both lights out.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. The Yankees, they're treading water with like fucking Jake Taylor.
Well,
catching.
here's the thing. Well, no, Trevino was in there. Trevino.
Yeah, he sucks though.
I
Yeah.
like Trevino.
He's a good catcher. I think offensively.
Well, last night the pressure. Well, not last night. By the time this airs, when that in the perfect game,
Right.
What's his name? Higashioka.
Yeah,
He called a great game. There's a lot of pressure on him.
he does call a good game. He's a good catcher. He's just not a stick guy.
Right.
And I think you got
It makes you appreciate what Posada was.
Right. Listen, even Piazza to a point. People, dog Piazza because he had a shit arm. He called an okay game.
Right.
And he batted
fucking
batted 300.
Really
so,
good,
yeah.
For a guy that was undrafted, really.
Right. Yeah, it was a favor.
It was a favor.
Hey,
Tommy was sort of like,
it's your godson, take him late.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
No, fuck sports right now, though.
We're getting into summer mode, and that'll bring us into, if I can find it. This week's top 5, the top 5 movies to ring in summer.
Yes, sir.
I have an honorable mention. We'll get to that at the end.
I do too.
Just in case.
Okay.
I'll start with my number 5. Number 5, The Sandlot.
Almost made my list, but yes.
Very, listen, I know because it's kind of like a kid's movie, but it's not.
Right.
It had it all. It had baseball, it had the sleepovers, and it had Wendy Peppercorn.
It did.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody had that legendary chick in their town. We didn't have a town pool.
Right.
But you know what I mean? It would have been like seeing, somebody from our area, you would have looked up and been like, oh my God, I had whoever.
Yep. Yep. No, definitely good summer movie. My number 5, Summer Rental.
Oh, yeah.
John Candy.
Funny. And as a kid, it was funny.
Right.
But as you become a parent, it becomes even funnier because now you're starting to see exactly what the shit end of being a dad is. You're carrying the cooler. Everybody's all run to the beach. By the time you sit down, they're all ready to go somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, after you just carried a fucking 80-pound cooler through hot sand.
Does these look real to you?
Yeah, they were nice cans,
They
though.
were.
Jesus, put them things away. Fella, will you just touch them?
She shows everybody. Yeah. So, number 4.
My number 4, Summer Catch.
Much higher on my list.
We will talk about it then.
Okay. Number 4 for me, American Pie 2.
Much higher on my list.
We'll talk about it then.
Number 3, Weekend at Bernie's.
Higher on my list.
Oh, Christ.
We got similar lists here. Number 3, Jaws.
Not on my list at all.
I know. It's like, all right, it's a fucking attacking shark that kills everybody. But it's a summer movie.
It is, and it's one of the probably all-time classic summer movies.
Right. Just because it's a quote-unquote horror or thriller doesn't make it any less summer. It's at the beach.
Yeah. And not for nothing.
It got more ridiculous as it went along.
Yeah, but the original
was awesome.
And think about it. Everybody wants to go to a beach. That's the thing. Everybody goes to the big beach, and this thing's tormenting the beach.
And everybody makes the sound. Dun, dun, dun,
yeah.
Dun.
Right. If you hear it, you immediately know what it means.
And we're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah. My number 2, American Graffiti.
I know you love that movie.
It's about California teens and they're coming of age kind of right before they're leaving for college or the army then you got the guys that are being left behind, and it's great music. I mean, phenomenal music. What a lot of people forget about this movie is George Lucas directed it.
Right.
Young Harrison Ford in like his first breakthrough role. Awesome cars are involved in it. You know what I mean? So there's a 32 5-window coupe. Sick. Harrison Ford's got the Merc. They're cruising the strip. So, I mean, it's just one of those movies that it's like encapsulates, you know, that last summer before you break apart and you may never see each other again.
Right. Right. So my my number two is Weekend at Bernie's.
Okay. Probably one of the funniest movies in the 80s.
Oh, it was great.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Probably one of the funniest movies in the 80s.
That leaves my number one. What was your number two?
Oh, so we skipped over some. My number 4 was Summer Catch.
Right, and that's my number one.
Cape Cod.
Yep.
Baseball.
Yep.
And Jessica Biel half naked.
Jessica Biel.
But there's one line in that movie that I hate.
Which one?
The very end of the movie, he goes to the plane to get her from Gumman. He leaves the game during his perfect game or whatever.
Yep.
Goes to get her. And they got it on the radio, and the guy finishes off the perfect game. And he's like, everybody's like clapping, and she goes, "Let's be together." It's like the worst. Now, when you watch it, you're going to hear it, and you're going to cringe. You're going to be like, "Oh my God, it just doesn't fit."
Don't speak.
It's the dumbest. It's like the dumbest line.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was my number 4.
Tanley Parish.
Yeah, up on Shaw Road.
Yep.
We've been on that road.
Yes, we have.
Many times.
Yes, we have.
That was my number 4. And then what was your number 1 was Summer Catch.
Yeah.
And then American Pie 2 was my number 1.
Yeah. Awesome.
And that is, again, another thing. A bunch of kids, best friends, all went to college.
Yep. Came back.
They all came back, and they decided, hey, we're going to the lake for this summer. We're going to rent a house together. They painted houses. The fucking wild shit that went on during that time frame.
Yeah.
And then they throw the big summer banger to finish up.
Yeah, it was the shit.
It was like, it was our time. They were like, it was our age, age-ish.
Yeah, it
right
was.
in our
Yeah,
wheelhouse.
we were right. American Pie was right after we graduated, maybe.
Yeah, like a few years later. But
and I think
it was 99 was the second one, I think.
Right, so I think 96 might have been the first.
Yeah.
And we were just out of high school.
We were fresh. Like 22, 23 years old.
Right,
so
awesome.
it was pretty awesome. Yeah, it's a fun one. So what'd you have on your honorable mention?
Independence Day.
Yeah, I won't put that on there. Fuck that guy.
Oh.
If Chris Rock starred in it, I might. No. I had one, and it was Stand By Me.
Okay.
Another summertime.
Right.
If you look at them, what is it all? Sandlot, a group of dudes hanging out.
Yeah.
Stand By Me, group of dudes hanging out. Summer Catch, dudes hanging out. American Graffiti, dudes hanging out. American Pie 2.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's. It's the same thing. It's your friends and that before you let go of the group. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's hard, man. It's hard to hold on to. And that's the sad thing. You ever read that line where you go, one day you and your best friends went outside and played together for the very last time?
Yeah.
And every time it kind of hits you.
Yeah, you're like, holy fuck.
Fuck, you're like, how old were we the last time we had the last killer wiffle ball game at, somebody's house?
Right. Yeah.
There was times where those games felt like it was Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah, no shit.
You get in somebody's fenced-in backyard. Everybody's talking shit. You're just in there.
Hit it over Matt Hunter's Green Monster.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
And Buzon was the next door neighbor.
Yeah, playing my grandfather's was weird because we played in the one side yard, so it was very long but narrow.
Yeah.
So home runs were Simmons Drive. Anything over the hedges was foul. You had to go get the fucking ball across the street.
Right. And
if you hit it too far to the right, the maple tree caught the ball. It was an out, automatic out. So you had like a narrow point of reference to hit the ball. Now in my father's backyard, before we had the pool, ultimate backyard.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Really?
Yeah, the hedges, the hedges between mine and Splendo's house, that was the fence. Out if you hit it over the fence into the one side yard, that was an out.
If you ever had to leave the yard to get the ball, it's an out
automatically,
unless you hit it to the backyard.
Right. If you hit it onto the roof and it rolled and got stuck in the gutter, you lose.
Yeah.
Because we just lost the damn ball.
Yep.
So
my parents' yard, it was, well, you know where the garage is.
Yep.
There wasn't a garage there, but that back shed that was like our engine room for the race car.
Yep.
So that roof was a home run.
Okay.
Anything over, if you hit it in the pool, you were out because the pool was kind of in the middle of the yard. The garage is back here. So on the roof was a home run. Anything into either side yard was an out. Anything over the pool was a home run.
Yeah.
Because it was like straight away center.
Yeah.
So then the bases, we had like a clothesline, that pole. The front edge of the pool was second base. Third base was over towards the side yard. And then home plate was like right in front of the back door. There was like the stoop came off, the patio went that way. And then like just in front of there, there was literally a batter's box for years. You saw a batter's box.
We used to play every year. We went to Wildwood when I was a kid. The first thing we would check in the hotel, and then by 2:00 we're on the sand playing wiffle ball. It was always me and Chris Naone versus my father and his father, and because it's sand, the ball hits and it dies.
Yep.
So the rule was if the ball was still spinning when you got to it and got it, it was an out. Yeah.
And you could tell what a true wiffle ball.
Right, because you saw the holes.
Right.
So that made it easier.
Yeah. Were you a tape the bat guy, like taped them up and stuffed them with newspaper and all that bullshit? I didn't either.
No.
Just play with them how they were. The only thing I would do is the black bats that were like Louisville Slugger.
I prefer those bats over the yellow ones just because I think the hand feel was better.
Well, they were a thicker hand.
Right, it felt more like an actual bat.
If you're playing wiffle ball, you play with the original wiffle.
Right. Now, the only trick
do you remember the big red ones? Boom.
Oh, yeah. The only trick I did learn was if you microwave the wiffle ball.
Really?
It made it jump. It made it jumpier for some reason.
Really?
You threw it in for like 15 seconds, and that thing come out of the microwave, and it was fucking darting and diving every which way.
Have you? Well, we can get to that later. Have you ever watched some of the wiffle ball leagues they got?
I've watched. Yeah, we'll talk about that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's move along then. So we're done with that segment there, right? All right, let's move along. Because we're both fucking deaf.
Ozzy just blew my ears out. Holy shit. Wow. All right, 5 crazy questions, summertime edition.
Sponsored by Scalable Computers, presented by Winnie.
There we go. Number 1, beach or camping?
Camping.
That was a tough one for you because you like both.
Here's the thing. Beach, not a lot of bugs, nice breeze, fucking sand.
Right.
Camping, bugs, no breeze, but I love camping.
There you go. So you're going to go camping overall?
Yeah, camping overall. I'm not a sand guy.
Okay.
Like when I go to the beach, I like to go like 8 in the morning as the sun warms up. I can't go to the beach when it's already 90.
Right.
I got to get there when it's like 75, 80 in the morning and it gets warm.
Okay.
If I go at 90 when it's already blazing hot, I'm like,
miserable.
let me go home.
All right. Number 2, best summer night dessert.
I'm pretty simple. Vanilla ice cream, a vanilla cone with rainbow sprinkles.
Unless you're in Cape Cod.
And then it
would be a
blizzard
from
Butterfinger Blizzard, extra Butterfinger.
From Dairy Queen on 28.
Yep. In Yarmouth.
Number 3, your perfect summer barbecue meal.
Oh, that's easy. Like any type of like chicken like lightly I hate when people like lather fucking barbecue sauce and something.
Yeah.
Like a barbecued chicken quarter or half.
Yeah.
I love barbecue chicken on the grill. My mom's macaroni salad, and my sister makes really good baked beans with bacon and brown sugar in it.
Yeah.
And watermelon.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty standard.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm all about the hot dogs on the grill.
Right. If you had a choice, hot dog or hamburger, but then they're coming off the grill.
Hot dog.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, I like hot dogs on the grill.
Yep. Number 4. Excuse me. Until now, because I don't want to include what you're about to do. Favorite summer vacation? Be specific. Year, where, location.
There was a year, probably. I want to say probably like 2010 or 11. We were all in Cape Cod together.
Yeah.
I was divorced by then, though. It was just me and the kids. We did. I think it was the year I took the bird's beak off.
Oh, okay. Yeah. With the hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was that year because we played wiffle ball barefoot a lot that year.
Yeah.
We went to the beach. We just enjoyed ourselves. I think we saw the Libyans then.
At the
Because I had my car by then.
the Brazilian grill.
Yeah, and I remember Christopher being in my car the whole time with aviators on. He thought he was hot shit. He had the aviators and not at the table Carlos shirt. And Christina, your ex-wife, was so bent that he had that shirt. We got it at the flea market we went to.
Right.
Remember?
At Wellfleet.
At Wellfleet, yeah.
Yep.
And that he thought it was awesome. That's where the whole, do you want me to put cones out next to the car so nobody parks next to it? That was a really, really, I needed the mental clarity.
Yeah.
And that was one of them weeks that I got it.
Yeah, it was. Boston was young. Max was younger.
Yeah. They were in the pool all the time.
Yeah, that was the best thing.
We were going to the games every night.
We spent so much time in the pool with the kids.
Yep.
It was that age for everybody, for all the kids at that point.
Right.
It was just it was a really great trip.
Yeah, I mean, Christopher was probably the oldest at maybe 14.
Right.
And the girl, I mean, not even.
No, he was probably 12.
12, so that means the girls were probably well, no, 2010, Germ was 10.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Chris would have been, I guess it would have been 14.
Yeah, they're somewhere in there.
Or getting there, yeah, close.
They were in that range. It was either 2010, 2011. We went, and it was just one of them years that it was awesome. We were all, there's a picture, there's an actual picture of me barefoot with a green Old Navy shirt on, hitting a bomb left. It was the one that Christopher had to go run out on the 28 and get, remember?
Yep.
Out in front.
Yep. I'll answer my own question on that one. My favorite was the 1 year where I had my Jeep.
Yep.
And I got to take
the boys down.
Max and Chris to Wildwood.
That is also the year, Christopher, that your dad cried that what is it? The captain's table was now a parking lot.
Just the three of us. Nice boys weekend.
I remember there's a very nice picture of the three of you in front with the Jeep. In front of the Jeep, in front of the beach.
Right.
Yeah.
We had dog tags made. It was cool. It was my first and I think only trip with just the three of us.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Well, I always look forward to that week. Now, you know that week every year, me and the kids in the Cape.
Right.
And it's kind of sad that it ended. It ended last year.
Yeah.
One was married and off, the other one was working, and it was just and then Boston and I went to Michigan.
Yeah.
So it was it just stopped, and it stopped like that. All of a sudden, at one time, it just disappeared.
Yeah.
Sad.
It is. Number 5, favorite childhood schools out memory. So the first school's out, and it's the first week of summer. Favorite memory from your childhood?
You know what it would be? It would be I grew up in a neighborhood that was a tight-knit group, and a lot of hell raising went on. But that first, I don't know, you're a teenager and you're kind of all you know what I mean? You're old enough to hang out, but you're not old enough to drive yet.
Yeah.
And it would be, there's the Four Corners in Mount Marion.
Uh-huh.
Scott Grant lived on one corner. John Vaughn owned the house on the other corner. Crumbs were here, and then the house that was a red house had an in-ground pool in it. Well, that John Vaughn's corner was like a hill, and he never minded us kids. I think about it now, and I'd be going nuts. His son was older than us. Well, we would hang out on that fucking corner. That first night, everybody would congregate under the streetlight on that corner. And then the dumb shit that would ensue after that.
Right.
Somebody had I guess it was it was a tandem bike, but 3 people would get on it.
Yeah.
And we'd start a stopwatch and race, see who could get the fastest lap around the whole block.
Okay.
And it would be weird, the combinations that would make faster.
That's funny. That's cool.
And in that same week, we'd all end up down at the Red Barn. We called it the Red Barn. And then we had a rope swing that came off a tree, and you'd swing out into the thing. It was just American fucking fun.
Right.
And there was no cell phones. Everybody was out. The wiffle ball games would be fired up. You'd be down at the courts playing basketball. just the shit you would do when you find a house to go swimming at. That's like, that's like the last little bit of like being a kid.
Yeah.
You were holding on to it, kick the can. You'd be playing manhunt behind the seat back in the day, kick the can, all this shit. And you would just do it. We'd congregate there and you'd break out into your packs to all these different spots.
That's cool.
And I remember one specific summer, we camped out in like what we called the Pines, which was like the woods down in Park Circle.
Yeah.
And I'm sleeping over your house, you're sleeping over Tommy's sleeping over Jim's, you know what I mean? And we all went out and we camped out. And then like all the girls all camped out in another yard. So we were like, yard jumping, pool hopping. The amount of bad shit that went on that couple days was unreal.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It was weird for me. Again, growing up in the neighborhood, grew up in the Heights. A lot of the same stuff. It was weird because the way the Heights is divided up, you've got behind what we consider behind McDonald's was kind of one neighborhood.
Yep.
Then you had mine, which kind of went back to where Shakuzi lives.
Yep.
And then you had Windermere, which was down where like Ferg and Billy Gosh and all those kids were. So it's like you had different friends in every section of the neighborhood, no matter where you went.
Yeah.
But I always felt that my summer was divided up this way. We did Wildwood when school was still in session. We went the first week of June every year.
Yeah. So
there was no real during the summer vacation, so to speak. But it was from when school ended until the Glasgow Bazaar was the first.
Which is like August.
Yeah, last week of July, first week in August was the first section of summer. And then after the Bazaar was the rest. And then really, after the Bazaar was only about 2 weeks because then football practice started.
Right.
So.
See, like as I got older, like in my 15, 16, that was when racing picked up.
Right.
So like they were the dog days of summer. And I can like remember, I think one of my wins was like August 11th was like one of my.
I'd be hot as hell.
It's so weird to know that date.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what I mean? You think back and you're like, holy shit. Like I remember looking at the VHS tape.
Yeah.
August 11th, whatever, and you won a race that night. So, and they were the nights that it just picked up.
Right.
And now you're out. It's Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. You're out there running. So.
Yeah. Remember one year I went to maybe 2 summer vacations. Actually, I did take during the summer. My grandparents on my mom's side took me to Disney in July one year. We stayed. It was a 2-week trip. We stayed at my aunt's house in Clearwater for a week, and then did Disney, MGM, Universal, all that stuff in another week. And holy fuck, you talk about heat.
Yeah,
it poured every day at 3:00.
Yeah, because it just got tired of being hot.
Just got tired of being hot, and then just this different stuff I got to experience that summer. I went to my cousin Sean worked for the Blue Jays, and Labatt's Beer owned the Blue Jays at the time. So there was Labatt's in coolers all throughout the the clubhouse, and he gave us a full tour. So we went to the clubhouse, and I got a bat, a ball, whatever. So we would stay for the game. There was a guy by the name of Roy Halladay that pitched that day.
Oh yeah, he had a couple wins.
But funnier than that was after the game, we're chilling in the parking lot. I was 15. Hey, you want a beer? My grandfather looks at me. He's like, I don't care. So yeah, I had a Labatt's, and
been an alcoholic ever since.
Yeah, pretty much. Not kidding. And I handed a beer to this young prospect that was talking to my cousin Sean. Barely spoke a lick English. He was a catcher at the time by the name of Carlos Delgado.
Jesus, think of that.
Yeah.
He was a massive dude, right? Delgado? He hit shots when he was with the Mets.
Moon shots when he was a catcher then.
And then he transitioned to first
base. Yep. So I had a beer with a non-English.
He hit a walk-off at a game me and Ferrara were at Old Chase Stadium.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Yep, so I had a beer with a non-English speaking Carlos Delgado when I was 15.
That's awesome.
That was cool.
That's a cool story, man.
Yep, so that's a Hall of Famer pitch.
Yeah.
Which was rookie league ball way back then, so that was cool.
Yeah, man. Wow, that's wild.
Now, it's funny how I think it's universal. You talk to people about summer, and everybody's got their best stories of their lives usually come out of that time frame.
I don't know why I didn't force myself to be a teacher.
Because you have summer off.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
your whole, because the older you get, you realize that your schedule revolves around the school schedule.
Right.
Your whole life schedule revolves around the school
Yeah.
schedule.
I mean,
Oh, it's Thanksgiving weekend. Oh, it's Christmas. Oh, we got spring break.
yeah.
Oh, the kids are home for the summer. Like everything revolves
Yeah.
around. Like if I knew I was going to be a family, I should have had been a
A
teacher.
teacher. Yeah, I remember other times that stick out as an adult that weren't vacations, but actually one was I had Max for his week during the summer the one year, and we decided to go splashdown.
Mm-hmm.
And I take my niece Gianna with us. It was the hottest day of the summer. The whole summer, that ended up being the hottest day. It was 104.
It had to be the day that I took Journey in summer.
Dude, it was so bad.
How old was Max then?
He was going into third, I think.
It had to be the same weekend that I took them, or same day, I took them the hottest day of the summer to Great Escape. And at one point, we had to go into the ice cream store because summer was bright pink and overheating.
Yeah.
And I'm just pouring water on her, giving her water to drink, pouring water over her head in the store in the air conditioning, and trying to cool her down.
But Max and I are in the wave pool there, and you couldn't really even see the water. You saw heads.
Yeah,
it was that
everybody
bad.
Just stayed down.
So we went to Wild Wings down there afterwards, and we're, I think, so hot nobody wanted to eat. They just wanted to have drinks.
Yeah.
And then that was one, and then the second one, which to me is funny as hell. It felt like a whole week, and I think it was at least 2 or 3 days where your nephew Cougar
never left your house.
Came over swimming one day, never left, and it was me, Max, and Chris and Cougar for a bunch of days, just swimming and playing video games and hanging out. It was funny and taking drives to Barclay Heights to get you back up.
That's crazy shit.
Yeah,
right. But another thing, dudes being dudes, just having
all
their day,
dudes being dudes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the wild stuff. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. You get, I don't know, and we could talk about it. It could probably be its own episode. When you get to your 40s or your mid 40s, where we are, you kind of get reflective and about your past, and you kind of get, projective about your future. You know what I mean? Like you're like, hey, this is where it was. This is what I need more of going forward.
Right.
Like I know I find myself reflecting a lot about what I miss and what I want. You know what I mean? Right. In my future. Yep. So it's really wild.
No, it's like, again, the wrestling thing with the boys this month is making me reflective in the aspect of, dude, you remember when I would pick Max up wrestling finger shopping.
Dude, Mondays.
Hitting all the stores to see if we had any new stuff that came out.
Yep.
And with Chris, it was picking him up from my grandparents' house when I was working teletrade, and we would go down to the friggin' marina in Socrates and throw rocks in the water and just hang out and do stuff we like to do.
Yeah.
So, stuff you look back fondly and hope that at some point you can recreate or make new memories with grandkids or with your kids when they're older. So.
Yeah. Like, I think it was 9 years. I looked at my one thing Facebook I do like. I look back at my memories.
Yeah.
9 years ago today, we must have hung out at Arsenal's on the lake up behind Arsenal's house.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a picture of Bean is tiny on this little kayak. And we're all remember John? I don't know if you remember this. John had to swim up, but John had a bar that floated in the lake.
Oh, no shit.
And these chairs, and you could just paddle up in the chair and hang out. And we're all hanging out in chairs, and he's got a swim up bar.
That's
and
cool.
The kids would be, on their kayaks and wakeboard and the, the boards and all that, paddle boards. And it was just a day in the lake. They jump off the dock. Then later on in the evening, you're you're catching fish.
Yep.
And then you'd hang out on the beach and barbecue.
Yep.
And it was always a great time to hang out at John's because it was like you didn't have to go anywhere.
Right.
He had a great little spot. He put his own sand in the beach.
That's cool.
To make his own little beach.
That's awesome.
And then he would go around in his little boat. And you just cruise around on a boat or whatever.
Yeah.
But he would go around in his boat and put this dye in the lake that would keep it like blue.
Really?
Yeah. Because what it would do is it would stop the sunlight from getting to the bottom and bringing up like lily pads and all that stuff.
Right.
So as long as he did that, he is such a smart guy.
Right.
He also built like a drain off. Like there was a big house in the back.
Yeah.
And they wanted a pool area. So when the lake would get too high, he built it off like a dam, and he'd go down and he had a drain, and it would drain down and like fill up their pool area to swim.
Oh shit!
It was really cool, like the way he had it. Oh, it's getting too high. Take the boat out there, get in the water,
Dam it up.
bring the water down, lock it back up. You know what I mean?
That's
It was
awesome.
really awesome, man. He kept real control over that lake, and it was always beautiful.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, it was a good time, man. Like to see that, and I should ride up there and go see him, see how he's doing.
Yeah.
Because once COVID hit, I haven't really gotten to reconnect with him.
Right. And I remember his work schedule was always insane.
Always bananas, yeah. Yep. And then, football season, I can't connect with him because he's screaming at the Buffalo Bills. Every time, like, I think they're going to win it,
Yep.
and then they lose, I'm like, oh, poor John's probably ready to jump off the bridge.
I do remember going up there on a Sunday with Max to watch. It might have been a playoff game, in fact.
I think we were all up there.
Yeah, we were all up there for it, yep.
Well, do you remember? Well, here's a thing to look back at from the summer that I remember fondly. It would always be the SYFL golf tournament.
Right.
And remember John and them being very neck and neck with us late in that tournament.
Yep.
And he gets up on the tee box. I go, hey, don't push it right into the woods with Norwood.
Boink.
And then he just fucking fell completely to shit after that. And we went on to win that tournament.
You got into his head.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
And his wife's going, why would you, Kim's just yelling at him, why would you let him say that? Don't listen to him. Just hit it down the fairway. And he hit it straight into the woods. I'm like, good shot, Norwood. And that was it.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, dude, that was fun. It's like to be reflective. That was all 5 of your questions.
That's all 5, yep.
All right, let's move along to your favorite song. I'm turning this down a little bit. We have done before.
We have.
This one's kind of summer themed. Over and on by GMAC. Number 1, Sandcastles.
I love the sand, but I was never good at them, so I say overrated.
I say overrated unless you see those professional ones.
Oh, they're then yeah.
Like the Cape Cod ones are amazing.
Oh yeah, the one they used to put out in front of
all the different businesses.
Yeah, like the Irish
pub. They did a Shamrock one year. They did a Celtic
stuff.
Knot.
Yep.
Yeah, that stuff's amazing. But in general,
the thing is,
when you're a kid, great, but
you got to dig deep enough to get water.
Yeah, so that it's packed.
So it's
just falling down.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yep, I agree. Overrated. Number 2, mowing the lawn.
Underrated.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things in the world to do.
Really?
Yes, to this day. If I had a lawn, if I was in charge of mowing my lawn, yeah, I love doing it. I love doing it at Pops. One of my favorite things to do is get on that mower, throw on my friggin' earbuds, and rock out to some music. I love mowing.
Are all your lines perfectly straight?
Yes. You have no other way.
Yeah.
Between him and my father, forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love mowing the lawn.
I'd mow the whole lawn. There'd be like one blade of grass sticking up. My dad would be like, you missed a spot.
Now, weed whacking, keep that shit.
Yeah, you melt the head right off of the fucking
I sure did, yours. But no, mowing the lawn, way underrated.
I'm like, that fucking thing was brand new, and as the head's flying into the street.
Yep. Zing.
Yeah. Number 3, humidity.
There's nothing in the world that is more overrated than humidity. It's the worst.
Nothing is more overrated?
I don't think so. It's
it is
disgusting.
Brutal, right? Today, brutal.
Right.
This week has been brutal.
The last week and a half or 2 weeks, now, it sucks.
I went out to move my car today, like lunchtime, and I was like, oh my God. I immediately got sick, like in my stomach.
And it was only 82 today.
I know, but it was so humid.
Yep.
It was like you could see it.
That's gross.
When you get them big, like heavy thunderstorm clouds, like it just keeps all the fucking moisture in. It's brutal.
Terrible.
And we had a lot of rain.
Right.
Like one day last week, it was like 78, but it was so humid, it was disgusting.
And then you're like, okay.
The floors are sweating.
Is this going to be the storm that kills the humidity or makes it way worse?
Yeah, way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get those ones. It pours, and then it gets hotter, and you're like, ugh.
Fuck that.
I don't know how there's fat people in like climates that are like that year round.
Right.
There should never be.
It's awful.
Like you take somewhere like Savannah, Georgia or something like there should not be anybody fat walking around down there.
Bad.
Because it's so hot. You don't even want to eat.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Number 4, bug spray.
I overrated because I hate fucking wearing it. I hate
the smell of it.
Feeling greasy like that.
Yeah, off. like the
but
smell, but
I
it's
don't think
highly underrated if it works.
if it works. Like I don't know that those bracelets work all that well.
Yeah.
But I do know that at least when you're camping, if you got the campfire going and you put your little friggin'
Citronella
candles out, it does help.
Yeah.
That's okay. But straight up bug spray, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not. But I still think it's underrated if they work.
If they
But
work.
there's nothing worse than when you spray like off all around your ankles and shit, and then you get bit 700 times.
Right.
You're like, fucking throw this thing in the fire.
Does he shoot heroin into his feet? Or no, those are just bug bites.
Yep, yep. And number 5, I did do a bonus. Number 5, flavor ice.
Underrated.
Yeah, the ice pops.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the staple of summer.
It is a staple of summer.
And then my bonus is number 6, Mr. Dingaling. Overrated. I hate hearing that. For the shitty ice cream he keeps on board, I hate hearing the song.
Super overrated now. I have one that's in the neighborhood every night. When I've never gone to it, I think he's way overpriced. But when Lou Collins had his truck,
Mr. Dingaling,
he was fine. Buying off of Lou was all right. And if you get an ice cream truck, like when you're on vacation by a hotel or something, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But overall,
overall, I think they're underrated for it's one of those. I want to call it a technology, but it kind of is that has sustained.
Yeah. Now give me that Kona ice truck. Underrated.
Yeah.
Love that thing.
Well, no, I think the Mr. Dingaling, I hate the fucking Mr. Dingaling. That you just hear it 1,000 times, especially when you live in a neighborhood like we grew up in.
Yeah.
It's on every block. You just hear it, you know?
Oh, you can hear it for hours.
Yeah. So, but I think it's underrated because that was something that was around in the 80s and is still around today.
Shit, it was probably around the 50s.
Right. But I mean, it's still around today.
Yeah.
So I'd say underrated.
Okay.
And so on the ice cream truck, what was your go-to? Bomb Pop if they had it.
No, usually like the character pops.
Like
character
you get
pops.
like Spider-Man with 2 gumball eyes.
Right. Or later on it was SpongeBob when the kids were little.
Yep. The Choco Taco everybody used to like too.
Yeah, that's out. They
discontinued it or
that's
something.
That's
wild. And no, the Strawberry Sundae.
Oh, with the frozen stuff right on the top.
Yeah, the crumbles on it.
Yeah.
The strawberry shortcake sundae thing. Not a sundae, but it was a stick on a stick.
Oh, okay. I was thinking the actual cup where you have the frozen
those are cool
gel
too.
on top.
The wooden spoon.
The wooden spoon, yeah. Which has the worst mouthfeel of all time.
Yeah.
And Chipwiches.
Chipwiches. Yeah, I was never a big Chipwich, but if you want a really good one, go to Mickey's.
Oh, yeah? Oh, you said
Mickey's and
fresh there, right?
Phenomenal. The cookie's great. That's what it is.
Nice.
All right. And then lastly, we might as well just talk about Rabbit Hole. What have you watched? What have you not watched? What have you done?
I have watched a lot of, because of the Titan stuff, a lot of Titanic stuff. It's popped up on my feed over and over again. The Titan stuff. Some wiffle ball when that pops up.
Yeah. So there's a couple wiffle ball leagues. There's one where it's in somebody's backyard with trees.
Yep.
I think that's the best league that I've seen. Because it's like authentic. They keep stats from their deck. They have an announcer.
That's awesome.
It's every Tuesday and Thursday night at I want to say it's like 9 or 10 o'clock our time because it's in Seattle area. But they've had some like minor league baseball players from the neighborhood show up and play. Cool. So it's pretty cool.
Yo, I don't know how as kids we didn't like tear our rotator cuffs throwing wiffle balls. As hard as we would try to throw them.
Well, what it is, I think you never really. Because they do have just the right amount of weight.
Right. See, I was a junk baller anyway. And being lefty, I was a big Sid Fernandez fan as a kid.
So you had that long.
I had that long 3/4 style. Yeah. Everything would break into you.
Yep.
But away from my father because he was bad at lefty. But every righty shit was coming, and I'd get rocked because everything. I'll leave it right hanging in your zone.
But that's how I taught myself to bat left-handed.
What's a wiffle ball?
Yeah, because I couldn't pull the ball. I'd always get out.
Right.
Hitting into the neighbor's yard, so I'd get up left-handed, so I could try and and that's how I learned how to hit. And then it's just a matter of taking that next step, going into a game, and then hit. I
always had a weird thing, and even with golf clubs now, trying to swing right-handed, like my body doesn't. It blocks it for some reason. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's like trying to throw with your opposite hand.
You don't have a smooth follow through.
Your feet don't register to your brain
right.
how to do it. You're still going backwards. You're like, step with what foot now to throw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And same thing with hitting.
Definitely.
That Titan. What was it? The
Titan.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Bad.
You are soup before you knew you died.
Right. Well, you don't know you died.
Well, here's the thing. They say that, but how do you know?
So TikTok's had some stuff on.
I know where they go, and then your brain doesn't register pain for so long, and you don't.
Right. So they break it down scientifically, but no, they did TikTok and they did some implosion stuff where they took a barrel.
Yeah.
And they boil the water in the barrel
yep.
and then seal it off and then instantly cool it off on the outside.
And then
gone.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, that was fast.
Yeah, but they should have put some like turkeys in there or something at room temperature to see what happened to the turkey.
You're right.
And the bones. They're saying they turned into like soup.
Right, because
pudding, I should say.
They say it produces heat too.
Yeah, because it's the amount of pressure per inch.
Yeah. Yeah, they said, anything. They said they basically became one with the ocean at that point.
That's wild, bro. But then they say there's footage of the like some of the wreckage pieces,
right?
And the fucking remote survived.
No, it did not. Really?
Yeah.
Damn, Logitech.
Or at least alleged. Allegedly.
I remember seeing the cone that came off the back end of the thing.
That's how they knew.
Right.
Something probably went wrong. The radar thing and the cone.
It saw that on the ocean floor.
Yeah.
Which was what they say 300 meters from the Titanic.
Which is like a football field?
3 football fields.
Football fields?
Yeah, it's a little over 300 yards.
Oh, 300 meters.
Right, 300 meters.
Right. I was thinking like a yard and a meter. We're saying 3 feet is a yard.
Right.
Not 3 yards is a meter. Yeah.
So, yeah, crazy stuff, man.
And they weren't that far from it.
Not at all. And come to find out that the one guy was a Dutchess County resident.
Really?
Yeah, the one that was the actual scientist on the ship lives in Poland.
Do they think that the vessel just gave up after so many times?
Yeah.
Being pressurized, it probably got a weak spot.
That's all it takes.
Pulling it out of the water, ding, that one little spot.
Right, that's
and
all
they gave up. Yeah.
Listen, the steel or the metal, whatever it was, titanium.
I think it was
was one thing, but the carbon fiber is where they think the problem was.
Really?
From being pressurized and depressurized, and it was like its 11th voyage down.
Yeah, it's probably that's only good for 9 now.
Right.
They probably have a limit.
Oh yeah.
After 8 of those, they got to go.
We're gonna back that off a little, so I have a feeling you're not going to see it again.
No, well, and a lot of people said
that level.
A lot of people have said, "Can the Titanic finally rest at the bottom of the ocean?"
Leave it alone.
Yeah,
leave it alone.
And I heard a college. Somebody was speaking at a college or on a stage somewhere. He said, "You don't bring a shovel to a
cemetery.
A cemetery, you know." But he used like a bigger one, like Gettysburg.
Right.
You don't bring a shovel to Gettysburg, and everybody says it's okay.
Right.
It's not.
It's not okay.
It's not okay.
No. They found the ship in '85, and that was Bob Ballard found it. And they say that.
Have you seen a conspiracy theory around that?
Right. They were looking for a
Russian not necessarily. No, it was R. We lost two submarines.
That's what it was. We were
that had nuclear, technology on it, and they went down to find those, and they said we'll just do it under the guise of the Titanic because it kind of went down that area.
Right.
And during that thing,
they found the Titanic. Yeah. And then so many trips have gone down and brought back artifacts from the debris fields. They actually brought up a section of the ship. I'd say small. It was probably twice the size of this room.
Right.
But they were able to raise part of the ship. Listen, it's a cemetery for over 1,300 people.
Yeah.
Plus 5.
Yeah. Oof.
So
the internet was winning with those memes, bro.
Listen, I've sent you some shit where you said my feet were gonna be on fire.
Yeah.
Some motherfuckers burned alive this week.
Oh, the stuff they said, like with the guy looking in the window. They had like Jack in the window.
Yes, I did see Jack a few times.
Like he comes rolling up to the window. Hey guys, I'll see you soon. And it's like bad to laugh at, but like the internet is undefeated.
The internet is undefeated.
You watch anything else on there, really?
Stuff that we'll talk about on our next episode.
Yeah, I mean, that's not going to be like a top 5 and all that.
No.
So, if you're listening to this week's episode, we do have to make that we have to make that announcement. The way our video works, it doesn't let us keep video for more than 2 weeks.
Right.
So since I'm going to be gone for more than 2 weeks, this will be the last video
episode,
unless we figure it out
right
between now and then. That'll show up on a Thursday night. What we may do is put the audio live on a Thursday night, or try to, I don't know, give it to you early. I don't know. We'll try and figure it out. We're going to still video it, but it may not be our normal Thursday night at 8:00 thing. You may have to listen to a couple episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Alexa, Google, whatever, wherever you listen to podcasts. So right now, every Thursday night, 8:00, we have a new video, but because I'm going to be gone for so long, it doesn't let us hold them. If it let us hold them just for a month,
right,
we'd be fine. The 2-week thing, I'm not really sure of.
They need to restream.
Yeah. Well, they screwed us playing like last week's episode, a couple times. So we got to get that figured out. But anything else on the rabbit hole or no?
No. I mean, a lot of the same stuff.
Well, you like what you like.
That's what it comes down to.
Like you get in them the algorithms of certain comedies,
right?
Because I watch a lot of JFK. I watch a lot of war stuff.
Yeah.
Being in the military, I like them stories and stuff. So I get a lot of that stuff.
I watched a lot of Bounty Hunter D.
Yeah,
is my dude. He's hysterical.
Yeah.
Doing car repos, and he does car repos in Florida, and he's a bounty hunter in Florida. Car repos
probably go hand in hand a lot of times.
A lot of times they do, yeah. So he's popped up a lot. I mean, he's been real heavy on TikTok lately, and there's always more Elvis tribute artist conventions every weekend, seems to be. So,
by the way, I watched Elvis's movie, that Elvis movie
with Austin Butler.
Yeah,
what'd you think?
Well, I told you I thought it was more about a Colonel Parker thing,
right?
But I watched one night. I got to work late, and I got home and trying to unwind. I just he did a good job.
He did.
He did a good job.
He really did.
The story was told in a way that, it was Elvis, but it wasn't kind of Elvis. It was kind of how he got scumbagged by Colonel Parker.
Yeah. The part that really got me...
the Christmas thing where he wanted the Christmas special, and then Elvis came out with that.
Oh, yes.
He did his own thing.
He asked Steve Bender flat out, what do you think of my music? And he basically said, I think it sucks. Because that's where he was at. All the movie shit was out, and he told Bender, thank God I finally got somebody that was
when he came home from the army, right?
Right.
And they just kept throwing him into movies, and and that's where his spiral kind of came out.
Yeah, and the movie was depicted where he met with Bender was up by the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
And
they were like privately, like they kind of
got away
sped through everything. Yeah. And he was sitting on the Hollywood sign. It was while it was still being built. Right?
Yep. So that was cool. The part that got me was now being there when he's sitting on the steps at Graceland and Priscilla's telling him it's over. And he breaks down. I'm like, holy fuck, that happened right there.
Well, now you have you've seen it in movies and you've seen it in shows and you've seen it whatever, but now you were there. It was like you could have sat right there. Right. That's like me going when I want to go to the Coliseum.
Right.
Like, or to the Senate or whatever it was where he got stabbed on the stairs.
Right.
Like he got stabbed right there.
Right.
You know what I mean? To see it with your own eyes, to be there, to touch it, to feel it.
Yep.
You know? It's wild, dude.
It is.
Now does it carry that much more weight for you now?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
To know I touched that same banister he was sitting next, basically leaning on as she's breaking it to him. So,
did they shoot that at actual Graceland?
No, I believe it was a set.
Because I'm going to say
they would have to shut Graceland down.
Yeah,
for it, so.
the amount of money they would have lost.
What Austin Butler did get to do though with Lisa was wander around inside Graceland. She gave him one of his guitars, and he sat in the jungle room and played music. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Right.
So he got to go in other places that nobody else went.
Didn't go upstairs, but he got to be in the house and just be in the house by himself.
Does that blow your mind that you were in there where like Austin Butler was?
Yeah, I got to see. Like I said,
you were in the jungle room, right?
Right. Yep.
Can you?
You can't walk into the jungle room. It's roped off, and the way the house is built, there's a hallway that goes down past it. So, but there's a half wall, and the half wall is you can I literally lean on the half wall, and I took a bunch of pictures from there. So
Well, you've been back like 3 weeks. I haven't seen a picture.
you didn't see him on Facebook?
I don't follow you on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Okay.
I don't know. People think like they're like, oh, you and Winnie, you talking? No, we don't. We do this.
Right, and we see each other for like 20 minutes a day here and there.
Yeah.
They're combined
Like
all together,
like, yeah,
20 minutes. Yeah. Yep. So
Yeah, like I'm like, I have no idea. I saw no pictures. I don't know. I thought this guy fucking facilitated this lie that he went to Graceland.
I just ordered the hat off the web.
Yeah. We got that. You know, we had some barbecue down at the Hudson Valley Renegade Stadium. A good episode.
Yeah.
We can tell you already, next week's episode is different. It's not top 5. It's not this. It's about cancel culture throughout our personal history.
Yeah, you might hate us. You might love us. You might agree, me not.
Right.
But I definitely formed
what you consider cancel culture. So that'll be next week. So this one will drop July 6th.
Okay. Yep.
Right?
Right.
So this will be July 13th. 13th
will be
the cancel culture.
Yep.
All right. Bring us home, big fella.
All right. From GMAC, this is Winnie. This has been the Outlaw Blitz podcast. And as always,